I was born and I grew up in a very small town called Pagbilao in Quezon Province, where my mother was born. My father was from Agdangan, Quezon, and he was the one who came here shortly after martial law was declared and got my mother and then my 6 brothers and sisters. And I was the last one to come over in 1977. So we all settled in Los Angeles, and I moved to Diamond Bar and then Newport Beach. And after law school, I went to Washington, D.C. Then I came back to California, and then I landed in Palm Springs. That's how I got here 24 years ago now. But I've been in the United States for 38 years. We do civil litigation and family law, which, we handle the bigger family law cases, bigger divorces with lots of assets that have to be fought over. Therefore, they need the trial expertise of a seasoned litigation lawyer. And my boss is my ex-husband, Isabel Chapman, is a very, very well-known trial attorney, here in the Valley. I did. Right after I finished my last exam in law school, I went to Washington, D.C., packed 2 suitcases and 50 resumes in my briefcase and pounded the halls of Congress and landed a job with the U.S. Senate Impeachment Trial Committee. They happened to be setting up that ad hoc committee to impeach Elsie Hastings of Florida. And before that was over, they set up another impeachment, the other party, just to get back, I think it was, set up another impeachment for the other side of the political aisle and tried to impeach Richard M. Nixon from Mississippi. No relation to the defunct president prior. So yes, and I was responsible for putting together and publishing the entire record of both impeachments. We have, because we handle big cases, we only take, and this is a very small firm, we only handle a few cases at a time. We have 3 current huge trials, and we really, are stretched to the limit with those 3 big trials. And then we have smaller cases, on the side that don't require as much court time, but probably require more hand-holding with the clients that don't, because we really handle, say, the divorces for people who have a lot of assets. They have businesses, they either have they own their own business, or they have professional practices, etc., and lots of other assets like real estate and things to fight about of value. The Waring International Piano Competition has been going on since 1995, where it used to be called the Joanna Hodges, Hodges, International Piano Competition. That competition was born at the campus of the College of the Desert, which is a 2-year community college here, and it has now gotten so big that we have competitors coming from all 5 continents. We actually have a lot of good Asian competitors who win, and they perform in different venues like Carnegie Hall. That's our first prize in solo competition. And with the Vienna Symphony Orchestra for the concerto competition winner. They go on to perform and either do professional work in the field of classical piano music. I'm a lover of classical piano. I should say probably frustrated piano player, because I by no means can match the skill level of the 7-year-old who compete in our junior competition, sad to say. But I believe that children should be exposed to classical music, because the very formulation, the composition of classical music is directly related to the way the baby's brain gets wired while in utero. I became president of NAFA last year after being secretary for 2 years prior, and I discovered that there are 5 other Filipino organizations, I should say 4 other Filipino organizations. 2 are religious-based, Santo Niño and Mother of Perpetual Help. They're well entrenched, and Delia Price, who you've interviewed, has been responsible for Santo Niño being here as long as it has, for 4 decades now. So the other 2 organizations are somewhat social. One is the Phil-Am Golf Association of Coachella Valley, and the other one is an older organization called Phil-Am, or Filipino American Association of Coachella Valley. We are the youngest organization, and I have formulated a council, I should say put together a council comprised of the top 2 leaders of each organization, so that the Council of Filipino Leaders can be available at a moment's notice to receive dignitaries and celebrities on the one hand, and on the other hand, be really unified in terms of, say, celebrating our Philippine Independence Day on June 12th, like we did last year, and we'll be doing again this year, so that, you know, all of the Filipinos can come from, you know, the woodwork and celebrate together, get together, probably support each other's events and activities, and, you know, really be a good big community. There's probably about, last I heard from the 2010 census, there are about 5,000 Filipinos here in Coachella Valley. A lot of professionals who are, you know, either in the medical field or in law or other, say, real estate, who are not being acknowledged. So last year, we were proud to create Mabuhay Awards, and we inaugurated that during our June 12th Independence Day celebration. And that was created to at least improve the image of Filipinos here in the Valley. There are not only farm workers and housekeepers and home care workers, like people who help senior citizens. As you know, you may or may not know, but this valley is a resort community, and there are a lot of senior citizens here. My personal goal, really, my pie in the sky, I would say within 5 to 10 years, we will have a Filipino center, physically, a building in the Coachella Valley that we can open up not just to this community, but to Filipinos from all over the country and even the world. But it's, you know, it's a long haul. I happen to have gained the experience of fundraising from my being on the board of the piano competition and being on the working executive committee of the Warring Piano Competition. So, you know, it's something that I aspire to in the next probably decade, if not less. I think he is a great leader and a good, you know, a good posture for balancing the idea of nationalism in the Philippines, which was a huge issue when I was still there and even after I left, and also posturing the Filipinos to maintain international acclaim and have the idea of being an international citizen. By keeping with, you know, staying with the high competency in English language, for example.